Hey everybody, this is Robert Mathis from the Quest for Groove, and in this video I'm going to open up this Akai mpd218, apply some of this cloth electrical tape on the inside to see if I can improve the sensitivity of a couple of these pads, and I'm very curious what's going to happen. So let's go. The Quest for Groove. So this is the device we're going to be working with today. It's an older specimen that I got from my basement, and I dumped it in my basement because it was an Akai mpd218 that I wasn't that satisfied with. Let me show you why. This pad triggers reliably, responds well to soft touches, and then the pads next to it on the same row don't respond as well. That one's pretty good, but these two in the middle, no bueno. If you go more towards the edges, they do respond a little better. But yeah, this is by far the winner of this row. And what I want to try and do now is open up this controller and see if I can get these three pads, on par with this one, because that would mean that, we have a little bit of a fix if there are a couple of pads in the controller that don't respond as well. So open it up, first unplug it, and what we got to do is just unscrew all the screws here on the back. That was the easiest part. Now we gotta take a smaller screwdriver and unscrew all these small screws here on the back of the circuit board as well. And pay attention to how loose those screws are actually. I think that's by design, so they shouldn't be super tight also if you screw them back. Right, so the circuit board is loose. If it doesn't come off, then there's another screw somewhere. That's always the rule. It should just come off very easily. Right, now we can put it to the side. And that looks pretty, right? And let me see. Oh yeah, this is the pad sensor sheet over here. That little plastic, that thing, that's supposed to be loose. But we got to make sure that we put that back, right? So let me just put this to the side for now. But it has to be put back in the right order. And also the right side has to be up. So the matte black side has to attached to those sensors over here. So keep that in mind, preferably not touch it too much. And now we have the plastic pads of the Akai MPD, and we can go and mess around with this. So if we mirror this in our heads, this was the pad that was good, right? Used to be on this side, but we flipped it around. So this was the good pad, and these three were not as reliable. So what I'm going to try and do is around the little light, I'm going to apply some tape. Okay, the tape is applied. What I did here is 2 layers of this. This is some sort of tape that has a little bit of a fabric type structure. It's not that thick. It actually doesn't stick that well, so you might probably want to get different tape than what I got, but let's just stick with this for now. Stick with this, pun intended or not, I don't know. What I did over here is I applied 2 layers, so I did like 1, 2, and then I actually filled in these little gaps, and then I did 1, 2 over here, and then here I started the other way. I did 1, 2, filled in the gap, and then 1, 2. And over here I got lazy and I just did 1, 2, 1, 2, and I didn't fill in the smaller gaps on the side. Might also be interesting to see what happens if you don't do that, because would save you a lot of time. So 2 layers of this tape applied to the plastic pads, and now we're gonna reassemble this thing. Right. First, make sure that we put this thing back. This is important, right? Pad sensor sheets. I think they're good. Okay, and as you can see, they're not worn at all. That's because I haven't used this controller a lot. So that's not the reason that those pads were not responding well. And again, if something's not working, no aggression. Okay. Right, so now it's time to put this thing back together. Remember, don't turn in these screws too tightly, and also you might need to lift up the device a little bit in order to get the circuit board in the right spot on the edges. Got it. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Okay, that pad's still pretty good. It's not doing anything. They're not responding at all. Nothing. Just completely, like, they're not doing anything anymore. It even got worse. Look at this. This pad got completely stuck. It's just red now. Completely not doing anything. Let's open it up again and see if I can remove some of the tape and sort of restore the damage. Alright, so with the red back left unscrewed, I'm going to try again. These are the little pads that I now removed. See if we can get some life back into this thing. Yeah, everything seems to be working again. So apparently just tape of this thickness that I have here basically messed up the entire device. So okay, I guess what I gotta do now is put this back and then try one layer of tape just for completeness sake. Okay, so now I applied just one layer of tape to this pad only, just to see what that would do. Okay. Ooh, that works remarkably well. So it seems as if this pad now got a lot more sensitive by applying one layer of this electrical tape to just this pad. Yeah, the rest still seems to be exactly the same, but hey, we did manage to fix this one pad now. So not two layers, but one. Really did the job, and I just did a horizontal stroke on the top and one horizontal stroke on the bottom around that little hole for the LED light. That was basically it, and now I fixed this pad. Let me open it up once more and apply also one layer of tape to the other two pads. Whoa. All the pads are responding very, very well now. This is the pad that sucks now. It might be that in a way this one sort of got pushed away from the pads a little bit because I put these three, I basically raised these three, and then now this one is a little bit further away. So it might also be my fault that this one responds less well now. Keep that in mind. Right, now let's apply the normal Quest for Groove pad layout to this thing and play a more heavy-handed beat to see if there's a lot of double triggering going on or something, or if we destroyed the pad controller in another way. Yeah, so what was interesting here was that there was some ghost triggering, especially when I was trying to play this open hi-hat here. Actually, this pad, the closed hi-hat, triggered as a sort of ghost trigger. See if I can sort of replicate that right now. Yeah, this is supposed to be open. It's supposed to sound like that, but when I'm banging on those pads, then this one triggers when I hit this one, which makes the hi-hat choke. So it's probably something I can do, probably like remove the tape from the back of this pad specifically, for example, or maybe even mess around with the screws on the circuit board. So not these screws, but the screws inside, and then loosen the screw over here on the inside or something. Well, as you can see, it worked really well. These pads got a lot more sensitive, but it's also a very delicate balance, right? 2 layers of tape and the pads don't work. 1 layer of tape on one pad and everything works flawlessly. 1 layer of tape on these 3 pads, and then this one has too much ghost triggering and you need to mess around with that. So yeah, I definitely have a lot of stuff to think about right now, whether I'm going to start recommending the mpd218 again to people who are, handy with the screwdriver. I don't know yet. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to definitely release a best buy guide soon, so this experience will be included. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you again soon. Bye bye.